Mm. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our time together. And I'm glad you were called to be with me. So we have some time together today. I'm not quite sure how long it'll be, the video, but there's a number of things I'd like to touch on. And first, let me introduce myself. My name is JoAnne Palladino, and blessed to be here and extend my gifts to you. So the intention today will primarily be to help evoke and embody complete and unconditional love and self-acceptance. Imagine if we lived in that state all the time, we would have and be in a different world. And also to enliven your soul, to allow you to really be more connected with and also live through the view of the true self, who we really are, the divine essence, that you can engage in the world truly by not being separate from anything or anyone. That's, the essence of living in the world, but not of the world. So what I'll share with you today is everything will point to expand your awareness, to expand your consciousness, so that you can better live in the place of oneness through the true self. I'll do this through wisdom teachings, practices, a guided meditation. And, I'm saying this is what we'll do. And I'm referring to notes, and, it's so linear, and who knows what we will, what will come through today, or as I'm with you. And also what will be intricate in this is Shemaya. I am a channel for the language of light, and it's Shemaya, the beings of light. It's light language, and it will be present. And I just want to touch on what Shemaya is, what that word even means. When the channeling started coming through years ago, I'm not quite sure, 2011, something like that. One of the words I kept saying was Shemaya, and I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what that meant. And what I found out is it's an ancient Aramaic word, Shemaya. And the Shem means God, light vibration. God, light vibration. That's the Shem. The Maya and the Shemaya means that God, light vibration is in everything, everyone, and in every word. When I heard what the word meant, my soul heard it. I felt it in my cells, and I sobbed. I sobbed. And when I found out what that word meant and the ancientness of that word, I named the light language that comes through me as Shemaya. So when it does come through, I just invite you to take it in on a level not from the intellect, not from the ego, not trying to figure out what's being said or what does it mean and those kinds of things, but more taking it in with the vibrational quality. I really feel like it's the voice of God when it comes through. And though it's in tones and vibrations, different sounds, I am able to interpret it from time to time. Not all the time, but I do get a sense of, what it means. It could be a prayer. It could be speaking, directly to you, and it's actually here. I could feel. I'll give you a taste of it. So taking it in as it is truly the word of God. Kasono mata yesoro balite kanomiatata. Soro bladi de papame consiminati shanonoba. Kyoto palati sikaradata tatama oi paratisa hishu mamayama. That's a welcoming, a greeting. It's beautiful. So we will have more of Shemaya transmissions, a blessing. I feel a blessing will come through also. So as we're getting into this a little more, I invite you to connect with your soul, because I'd like you to hear this and take it in and embody it, that it truly can make a difference in how you engage in life. More peaceful, more with unity, with love, knowing we're more than our conduit, our bodies. So calling in the soul, however you do that or allow that. And also bring forward the true self, if you can embody this fully, even for the short amount of time. Because what we're doing here is supporting the raising one's consciousness and embodying that so you can engage in life in a more loving way, first for yourself. Gosh, how important is that? Because like I said, the intention this evening is about complete and unconditional love and self-acceptance. My goodness, imagine not criticizing yourself at all any longer or feel you're not good enough or you're unable to do something. Not me, only them. So this will also help you to help fully embody this. And I feel embodiment is important because what I have found with myself and those that I work with through the years, when you embody a realization, then the shift in consciousness sort of takes hold. I mean, we talk about awareness, and I mean, we have to be, once you become aware of something, of triggers that it keeps something happens over and over again, let's say, and oh, there it goes again. But what I'm inviting here is more than just awareness. Like, it's what do you do with that awareness? How do you make changes when something continues to trigger, be uncomfortable, makes you angry, makes you sad, and I'm not saying emotions are bad, by no means. Not at all. They're sacred for the human being. Being in touch with the emotions and allowing an expression of them. So the embodiment, where the shift actually takes hold and you could live life and engage in life with a higher level of consciousness, so you can live through the soul, through the true self. So there'll be a few things that I'll touch on. And the wisdom teachings is, there's this one teaching that I was introduced to through the channeled book named The Way of Mastery. And it's Jeshua's teachings. It's a book of, I think it's 32 lessons. And this particular axiom was right in the beginning of the book. I believe it was lesson 2. And I got it intellectually. It's like, oh yeah, that's a good one. It's a good one. So let me share it with you. Nothing I experience is caused by anything outside of me. Let me say that again. Nothing I experience is caused by anything outside of me. Just take that in for a moment. And the second part of this is, I experience only the effects of my own choice. I experience only the effects of my own choice. That's another good one. So when I read that, when I was introduced to this book, gosh, it could be, I don't know, close to 12 or more years. I read it, I agreed with it, I understood it. But then one day, I actually embodied the truth of this axiom. And it was a tough one for me, but it changed my life, because this teaching is with me every day. My personal life and the souls that I work with. So 2 things really hit me with this one personally when I embodied it again many years ago. One, the first thing was, I got really pissed off. I was not happy with this at all, because it meant I could no longer point fingers. I could no longer blame. I couldn't say, if that didn't happen, this didn't happen. If it wasn't because it was because of them, this happened to me, and I can't do it because of her. And I was like, oh my goodness, I can't do that any longer. So I was really angry. And then I got really scared, because I realized it's the person I look at every day in the mirror, that it was up to me. It was about my life, and no longer blame. I needed to take full responsibility. It's getting out of victimization. Oh boy, that's a big one in humanity. No longer being a victim, no longer blaming. And when I embodied it and I got over my anger and my fear and my sadness about it, it changed my life drastically. Because anything that triggers me, what triggered me today, I don't know if I could think of one. Yeah, I could think of one. And I was upset, to give you a personal example, I was upset that I wasn't included in something. And I knew, like, it's like, well, I can't blame that person. It was like, so what's in it in me that got me upset, that I felt left out? So it allowed me to go within myself. So I'm sharing this as a wisdom teaching so you can bring it into your life, especially with those triggers. Something you read, something you see, somebody said something to you. So it allows you to explore your inner world. It allows you to have inner dialogue to say, what is it within me that is triggering me of why I wasn't invited today? It brings up abandonment. I wasn't good enough to be part of this group. You know, I mean, all these woe is me. It's so, you know, it's so victimization. And what was brought up today was to hold my inner child. This is where you could hold your inner child when you're feeling that leaving out or whatever the trigger is. For me, it was the inner child, which allowed me to get through it. So when I'm in triggers with this teaching, nothing I experience is caused by anything outside of me. And I experience only the effects of my own choices. I'm not in it long. I'm able to get out of it. That's the shift in consciousness. Or where things used to bother me, it's not, it doesn't affect me because I healed that part of me, that aspect of me. Now, one of the things that helps with this is another wisdom teaching and a practice is a sacred pause. If you're engaged in life and you just keep on going and you're aware of something going, yep, there it is again. And the same thing keeps happening over and over again, there really isn't a shift in behavior. So what I call the sacred pause allows me to stop. So that's exactly what I did today. I was like, oh, I got triggered. I'm not, this is, gee, I feel left out, you know. So I was able to have that sacred pause, which pulls me away from being identified with an old pattern. So I disengaged from it. It didn't hook me in. Hooked me in for a little bit. But with the sacred pause, it allowed me to step back and be more of the observer, which we'll talk more about, becoming like a master of conscious behavior. You know, I paused. I actually just sat with it for a bit today. Again, I'm offering this to you because you can incorporate these teachings, these practices to help you get through the turmoil, the bumps, the flares, the triggers, the annoyances, you know. So the sacred pause allowed me to step back, to not be hooked into that energy that I was in and observe it. But at the same time, really noticing what was going on inside of me and being with that, acknowledging it, having a deeper understanding of like, oh yeah, there's my inner child again. needing to be cared for, needing to be held. And that's what I actually did visually. I wish I have it here. I have my a teddy bear. The teddy bear's name is Metta. That's been in many clients' hands and arms. It represents sort of my inner child. It represents an inner child for, for the clients to hold, to love unconditionally, because that's what you're really doing here with this. You're giving yourself that time that's needed to sort of step back and understand, have a deeper understanding of, man, like, gosh, that's been around a long time, So the sacred pause, it's a practice you could do any time, like throughout the day, before you make the next phone call, before you do the next task of some kind. Before you see the next client, before you prepare a meal, after you have a meal. You step back from the turmoil, from the chaotic of whatever's going on that's triggering you and distracting you. It helps you get out of the distraction. Sit down, go outside, actually change your posture, your position, your location, trusting that you'll be able to do that, And if you're sitting down, just take a moment and breathe, just taking a breath, allowing you to get back into your body. Allows you to get centered once again, and again, not be caught in the chaos. Brings clarity of mind. It actually gives you space. It opens up your view. That's what I like about this too, the sacred pause. When you're in it and you're triggered, your view is very tight. This allows you to open it up and breathe, giving it space, being with it with different perspectives to change. Up, there's the awareness, it triggered me. But again, it helps you shift that awareness that you don't get triggered again. Or if you do, it doesn't last, it's quick. So this falls into mastering being a conscious observer, because that's exactly what this is. I love that. Being a conscious observer, being able to really view the world in a whole different light from the true self, through the eyes of the soul. Because when you look from that perspective, there's really nothing wrong. I know that sometimes it's hard to hear or understand or accept. So this is a teaching from Shemaya. Again, feel the transmission. This is the higher level of wisdom. This is with full love. Bringing you joy to shift your life, being fully embodied in the essence of love, that complete and unconditional love and self-acceptance. Kototorio pedata karadesho no malate kenati. Piarata pala toshi meriti karadala pasalatim. Voto patala chisha. allowing the transmission to settle in, to feel the vibration of the cells. No longer feeling the density of the 3D on planet Earth, but living from a higher level of consciousness. Sokotoloi paratakaisha maratuko mayavia piana tokolodo pisiriti. Sikaratala oma shifu shuyu bereteka. Papa para to joy meretata. This is full of joy. Kotoyo maratala tekineto. Take it in. You could close your eyes and take it in and put a smile on your face. Ikoro papala tishono noi paratala miesoroto. Kiki kikaratala ala 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 ala. So working with nothing I experience is caused by anything outside of me. Welcoming that in. I experience only the effects of my own choices. And you can work with that by being in the sacred pause, because it brings you back to the moment. It helps you be more embodied. It sort of expands the view and not get caught up in the sort of the cloudiness of what is triggering you. It brings clarity to mind. And it actually brings you down to the heart, to rest in the sacred heart. Which supports you to become mastering being a conscious observer. All to really support living through the eyes of the soul, from the higher self, the true self, the essence of who you truly are. And on the human level, that you're in a space of complete and unconditional love and self-acceptance. It's beautiful to be with you, and thank you for joining me. So I'm going to share a screen, and which gives my contact information, my website, and also if you've never worked with me before or played, I'd rather say play. If you never played with me, I do offer a free intro call, and there's a link. There'll be a link to give you that. And you know, when I work with clients, it's really incorporating complete and unconditional love and self-acceptance through the wholeness or the holiness of who you are, the mind, the mental well-being, the physical well-being, the emotional well-being, and the spiritual essence of who we truly are. Through intuitive readings, there's a lot woven through a session to really support you. Intuitive readings, wisdom teachers, and I just touched on a few today. Practices that you could incorporate in your life. Shemaya is always present with transmissions and blessings. And the frequency that is extended through the transmissions raises one's frequency to allow you to be more familiar with the essence of the true love. And also what's part of the sessions is energy healing. So it's really all woven into a beautiful fabric and tapestry to support you. So let me share the screen with you. So namaste, and trust we will play together. And here's information on how you could reach me. Blessings, blessings to you. Patatalo yubana. I close with a blessing. Allah ikonome seratama. Koisi biara tolo yameki. Mi siriti la li kanadolo o bata. Isarata alala de Canada. Ikaradla, this is going to the wholeness of who you are. Isinimi tilala pita. Polotolo uka mi. Isaratala uoya iki aki. Ano oloi shamanatala lala papapane te koyu baratale si. Allah, Allah, Allah. Blessings, blessings. Namaste.